Student Vote Project is where grade 12 students are going to be voting for the future mayor of Aurelia that is going to be coming soon. We're going to be setting up an entire question session where all the students from all grades will ask questions. We'll have a moderator that will voice all the questions while doing the land acknowledgement, the territorial acknowledgement, and other stuff along those lines.
Okay. And basically, what actions are you going to take to reduce crime in Aurelia?
Welcome everyone to the 2022 Aurelia Mayoral All Candidates meeting at Patrick Fogarty Catholic Secondary School. Before we begin, I'd like to welcome all attendees to today's meeting. Now it's time to begin. Each candidate will have 2 minutes to provide a brief introductory statement on the background and why they are running for mayor of Aurelia.
Graduated here in 2010, and you have a couple teachers here today that were going to school with me when that time. So when I tell you that you are going to be the future leaders in our society, I mean that.
I can't say that I attend this school, but it's good to be here. It's the only debate that I really look forward to because I knew today that I would be talking to the future.
My connection with Patrick Fogarty is a bit different. I knew Patrick Fogarty as a tireless worker for financial support for Catholic schools several years ago. My nieces and nephews have gone to this school, and my greatest niece ever, Lindsay Walker, is a teacher here, and I knew Mrs. Carolyn Healy, the principal, from the day she was born.
If elected, how do you plan to improve the condition of the street and other streets in Aurelia?
But most of all, it's for the seniors that are on mobilities, that are always, they come in and they complain. They said the roads are bad, we can't even ride on the roads. And we can't ride on the streets because there's no signs posted on what's great for mobility scooters or other scooters.
My goal would be to devote more money to roads to make sure they're in good condition. We have to have basic things done. We have to have the investments made in the city, in roads, in infrastructure, in order to attract people.
We need to look at basics in our city. We need to make sure that we're funding these basics. And I have a proven track record of actually putting my money where my mouth is and also making sure that the city's money with the budget goes to these important things.
What actions are you going to take to reduce crime in Aurelia?
Certainly working close with the OPP for enforcement is important. We spend $8.7 million on OPP. That's the cost. We need to ask ourselves if we're getting the value. Certainly the men and women in blue provide good service to us, but do we patrol the main streets? Do we patrol the parks? Do we hold people accountable for their actions? These things are important.
One of our ideas is to have 4 designated foot patrol officers. Prior to 2010, they used to have these in the contract. Unfortunately, a past council of the day decided to save money and get rid of those. We want to bring those back. We want to have designated foot patrol in the community to keep people safe.
Crime in this city is bad. And it's only getting worse because we have no infrastructure to help the people that need the help.
How will you strive to strengthen relationships between Rama, First Nation, and the City of Aurelia while taking into consideration truth and reconciliation and the calls to action?
Let's work towards some of these things that you think are important. There's a ton of things within the calls to action. There's a lot that are specifically federally based, there's a lot that are provincial, and there are some that are municipal. The big thing is we need to come to the table. You've got 2 ears and 1 mouth for a reason. You need to listen to people.
I can honestly say I go out at least twice a month. I go out to the local church to hear the response to the people in the community, to listen to what they need.
The Native people deserve atonement, they deserve respect, they deserve a new future. Their people have been murdered, their women have been raped, their culture trashed, they've been marginalized. We need to do better. I've taken each of the 94 causes of action on a personal basis and looked at the ones that have been taken care of and resolved, and I'm trying to work and help on the other ones. Those are things we can do. Those are things you can do to make a difference. We can all make a difference.
What are your plans for infrastructure and ensuring there will be a sufficient number of electric vehicle charging stations in Aurelia?
We need to invest in the future, and I've said that time and again. Getting charging stations is a good investment. People are coming through Aurelia and they see a charging station, they're driving a $100,000 vehicle and they have an hour to spend. They will spend time in Aurelia, they will spend money here, it will help the economy, and I think it's a great thing. We need to support this, and I would intend to do that.
We've actually supported installing charger stations across the city in different locations. The reality is we need to make sure we continue this in the future, that we have supercharging stations that are a lot more efficient and effective and faster for people. Because there's no point if you're going to the rec center, but it takes 8 hours to charge your car. They need to be faster, they need to be with the times, and they need to be more efficient.
If elected mayor, what will you do to reduce the number of people suffering from homelessness?
And I'll tell you, it's pivotal to say, I'm trying to survive on $1,400 a month. And I gotta pay my grocery bills, I gotta pay my rent, I gotta pay this, and where can I live? They moved back with their parents because they can't afford to live anywhere else.
Aurelia has 46 agencies that have all or part of the responsibility to look after homeless people. They're not coordinated, they don't work together. Each of those agencies has a manager, executive director, plus support staff. So we have as many people working on the problem as are faced with homelessness, and we're not making traction. That's not acceptable.
For the past 10 years, I've been attending the coldest night of the year. Has anybody else been to that event? Coldest night of the year, a big fundraiser for building homes for the lighthouse in town. A few of you, awesome. I hope the rest of you decide to come with me and come out this year to it to raise money for the lighthouse, to make sure that we're actually getting people off the street. But it's not just about that. It's about making sure that in the future we get them out of these situations, that we have transitional housing for them. That we help them with their resume building. We help them get out of these cycles that they've been stuck in for so long.
According to the Simcoe Muskoka District Health Unit, in 2021 there were 169 confirmed and probable opioid-related deaths in Simcoe Muskoka. If elected, how do you plan to deal with the opioid crisis in Aurelia?
Crisis, and we need to look at the problem with different set of eyes. People don't come into this world thinking, let's do drugs. They get there somehow. We need to find out, is it in the home, is it in the schools? What can we do? What can we do for our youth to have them have places to gather? Can we get skateboard parks? Can we get recreation centers where they can come and feel welcome and have activities? I think those are important steps to take.
The reality is we need to make sure that we're working with these different services in our community. I heard a suggestion earlier that we should get them together and close down some of them and lay those people off. I don't think that's the answer. I think we need to be reaching out. We need to be doing more for physician recruitment. Right now, we're only doing about $1 per person within the city of Aurelia to recruit physicians. We need to make sure we bring that number up. We take it seriously, and there's ways that we can double the amount of doctors we're bringing here in the future pretty much overnight. It's as simple as getting them housing and working with our partners. And there's a lot of folks out there who specialize in mental health and addictions.
I deal with counseling. I deal with helping people daily. And I listen to their complaints. And they'll say, John, I'd love to get off the drugs, but I just don't know how. We don't have the help. We set up centers, and there's not a center here that is for addiction that will help them.
If elected, how will you ensure that seniors can stay at home for as long as possible, and when the time comes, they have a spot in long-term care?
Talking about is for seniors who are on a fixed pension, who now with inflation, their money is worth less than ever before. We need to make sure we're keeping more money in their pocket. A lot of these seniors take transit within our city. I've been a big transit advocate over my 8 years on council, and prior to that, getting better services. We used to have school buses at one point. Now we have actual buses that are accessible for seniors to get on, and we can take that a step further. And I've committed to bring up $1 transit service for our seniors over the age of 65, making sure that they're keeping more money in their pockets.
I know what it's like for the seniors, because I listen to them when they come into my friend's shop and say, I have problems and I can't afford to fix my scooter because it's just getting wrecked. But my friend turns around and says, don't worry about it. Whatever the cost, I will pay for it. And he does. He does the work for a lot of people that he doesn't even broadcast about. He believes in helping seniors, as I believe in helping seniors.
It's important to provide good government and good use of our resources. Seniors are passionate about that. When I've talked to seniors, and I spent the last weeks and months talking to seniors in senior homes, groups of 15 to 20 people, they're afraid. Cost of living is going up. It's gone up 8 or 10% within the last year alone. And they're on fixed incomes. Their incomes aren't going up 8 or 10%, so they've got less to spend. They're worried about that, and they want to make sure that we spend the money wisely and that we take care of them and recognize them. They're certainly part of the solution as we move forward for a lot of issues we face. I've said before that the solutions often lie within the community, and I believe the seniors are a good source of those solutions.
My first question is for Mr. Maxwell. On your signs, you put Maxwell for mayor or another 4 years of nightmares. Why do you feel it necessary to put that quote on your signage? Isn't that Trumpian in nature? What kind of message does that say to the youth of the community?
When I put on a sign, vote for Maxwell or 4 years more of nightmares, I truly, truly mean it. Because if you are voting for a nightmare, hey, make your choice. Make your choice. I'll tell you, make your choice.
What is your vision for improving opportunities for youth in Aurelia? Specific examples can include recreation, entertainment, employment, and community engagement.
What would I do to help the youth? Number one, we don't have a recreation center just specifically for the youth. I would make sure that you do have those facilities.
Someone once said that you should plant trees even though you might never enjoy the shade, and that's what we're doing. I've got 4 priorities I've set based on consultation with the citizens of Aurelia voters, and they are just simple priorities. It's helping people with things that matter most, finding a doctor, getting suitable housing, or dealing with the rising cost of living. Looking after our most vulnerable, finding working solutions for homelessness, the opioid crisis or mental health, and certainly looking after our city, improving the roads and infrastructure, the cleanliness, protecting our natural beauty and environment, and implementing the climate change plan. Those are important things.
Moving on to the second point, which is opportunities for younger people. If we're connected as a larger community, we can make sure that we're helping each other. Whether it's working for co-ops and working with the school board to make sure that we can get you in high school, connected out to different businesses in the community, connected to things like City Hall so you can understand how your government works. There are these opportunities that we can do, that we can have great partnerships in the community, bring everybody together, and then we can also be aggressive and go seek out investment. Bring companies into our innovation hub in the future so that young people like yourselves can stay within our community, can work here, and then also expanding our recreation opportunities, getting a skateboard park at the rec center, which we have a plan for, getting things like a cricket pitch. We have these great ideas. We need to make sure that we have the people with the experience to make sure that they have it. Thank you.
Now it is time to officially end our All Candidates meeting. As a token of our appreciation for taking the time out of your busy campaign schedule to be here today, we have a small gift for each of you.
I thought it was very entertaining. I'm not gonna lie, for the last 15 minutes I was not listening, but it was very good, very entertaining.
I enjoyed it. I liked listening to all the candidates talk and say what they were gonna do for the city, because it's an issue for me, especially with potholes, because I live on a road that doesn't get much attention because it's not considered a main road. So I think that's a problem.
I found it interesting. I learned a lot of things I didn't know, and it was really fun to listen to.
I thought it was a really good thing for us to do in the school, because in a couple years, all of us will be needing to vote for real, and I think this is good practice for what will happen in the future.
Well, it was interesting because I've never done something like that before, and it was cool that we all got to meet and give our opinions on the election.
Yeah, I found the same thing. It's a very interesting experience, and I liked hearing what all of the candidates had to say and what they would do to make Aurelia a better place.
It was very interesting to see what they all had to say about Aurelia and how they're gonna fix it, and I just enjoyed having this experience.
I thought it was a really good experience. Got to hear everyone's takes on Aurelia and what they're gonna do to improve it.
Definitely Mason Ainsworth. He was well-spoken, had opinions from all different views, and I just thought he was very convincing.
I'd vote for Don McIsaac because he did have a lot of really good points, and he wasn't really bashing at the other candidates. He was kind of putting other things first, knowing that he's putting money towards fixing the roads, and like he's pretty much for Aurelia and cares about Aurelia.
John Maxwell, because he's cute.
We're helping run Student Vote. Yesterday, all the mayor candidates came into the school, explaining what they were going to do to help this town of Aurelia, or city of Aurelia. And right now we're helping run a grade 9 class. We're helping them vote, and I think it's just a really cool thing.
We're excited to help you guys vote. It's important to participate in Student Vote. Not long from now, we will be legal voting age. This new mayor will not only affect our family and parents, but will affect us in the near future. It's our responsibility to choose a mayor who will meet the needs of all of us. Our civic responsibility is to protect our rights and freedom along with our democracy. This is done by voting.